Hey there, everyone. This is author Anthony Avina. For those of you listening on Podomatic, this is just a simple reading of my latest novel, The Legend of Electric Fusion, Part 2. For those of you watching this on YouTube, however, this is a reading of my latest novel, The Legend of Electric Fusion, Book 2, by some sort of space alien thing. This is a Cyberlink YouCam little trick, so hopefully everyone enjoys it. And here we go. This is Chapter 1. Legends are not made overnight. The true mark of a hero is not in one action alone, but the journey the hero takes to making his or her environment a better place, a safer place. The legend of electric fusion is such a tale. The greatest hero this world has ever known, electric fusion faced an insurmountable amount of foes that constantly tried to eviscerate the planet. Monsters, men, and godlike creatures came up upon the hero, and each enemy he faced, he lived to fight another day. However, Electric Fusion was not just a superhero, but he was also a man, with another life to juggle among his heroic duties. And although he never faltered in his responsibilities, life was not easy when he first began. The great hero Electric Fusion faced one of the world's deadliest foes when he first attained his abilities. Her name was Infectious, a psychopathic hellspawn of the Horseman of Pestilence. She never destroyed the city of Los Angeles with her murderous tendencies, and defeating her nearly cost the hero the love of his life. But he was able to save her, and he went on to establish himself as the world's protector. However, 2 years later, the hero found himself facing an even deadlier threat, a double dose of evil that nearly destroyed his life. Part 2. The world has changed drastically by the time Electric Fusion's second year of being a hero has come around. All around the world, people spoke of the amazing deeds accomplished by the hero. Saving people from burning buildings, natural disasters, terrorist activities, and everyday crime became second nature to the hero. After all, after you face down a monstrous creature from some unknown supernatural realm, everyday occurrences are not as troublesome as before. However, the message given to him by Orion, the god of rock and roll and an angel soldier of God, at least that's what he thought Orion was, the details of Orion's ordinance and the true face of God were never made clear to him when he first received his abilities, was clear. When Ray first received his powers, Orion told him that he would face thousands of untold evils, each as monstrous as the next. And with his newfound abilities, he had gained immortality, never aging and constantly healing. With unimaginable power coursing through his body constantly, it was difficult to maintain his secret identity while battling evil in all its forms. Now, after 2 years of keeping the world safe, Ray began to question himself. Orion had warned Ray of unimaginable horrors that would come his way, but so far, nothing like the demented and infectious that crossed his path. He felt proud to protect the innocent from petty criminals and real-world threats, but with all his power, he felt like he wasn't being the hero Orion had hoped he would be. Was he fulfilling his destiny? Was he living up to the expectations that Orion and God himself had for him? Was he worthy of being the world's protector? Maybe there's a path Orion was supposed to be taking, a path that would lead him down a road where he would face the monsters and evil Orion had warned him about. But instead, he had sat back and waited for the evil to come to him. Maybe he was supposed to go on the attack, instead of remaining on the defensive. Ray thought of this now, on a hot summer night deep in the heart of Los Angeles. The wind flowed through his long, sandy blonde hair. Since his first night of being Electric Fusion, Ray had adapted a new look, trying to protect his identity as much as possible. Although the people close to him knew of his power, including his love, Eliza, and his friend and police correspondent Greg Scott, the rest of the world only knew him as the infamous hero. Now flying gracefully high above the brightly lit city, Ray sported his now trademark look, with dark blue jeans with small tears, a grunge look if there ever was one, a long, leather coat with the sleeves stripped off, no shirt so that his lightning bolt tattoo could be seen pulsing with electricity on his chest, steel-tipped boots, and a black cloth draped across his eyes, except for holes that let him see out of the cloth, of course. Quiet night, Ray remarked to himself. Looking around the city, he could see the nightlife bustling along the city streets. Friends drinking together, people on dates, families spending time together. The lively Los Angeles city was alive and well. After determining that the night was crime-free in the city, Ray decided to check out some of the other cities to see if they were just as calm. "Ray, come in, Ray," said an all-too-familiar voice. Touching the Bluetooth attached to his ear, Ray said, "Hey, babe, what's up?" "It's nearly midnight, sweetheart. You've been trolling for hours, and from what I've seen on the monitor, the city's all quiet tonight," said Eliza. "I was actually going to see if anything else is going on tonight. Maybe there's someone out in the world who needs me. Some new evil brewing in the depths of some undiscovered jungle, or something like that. Sugar, you've been patrolling all day. You can't keep doing these 24-hour shifts. The world is always going to need saving, but you are only one man. And there are people in the world who can deal with the little things in life. Eliza, baby, I'm supposed to be the world's protector. I have a responsibility to the people out there every day, stopping evil in all its forms. You may have unimaginable power, but you are still just a man, Ray. You need your rest, and you need to be with the people you love. The world will still be here tomorrow. I think that Orion would understand if you took a break from the small stuff for just a few hours. Besides, if something big comes along, you need to be well rested." "Okay, fine. You've convinced me. I'll be home in a few hours. Minutes. Keep the terrace doors open for me." "Great. I've got a pizza on the way, and I've got a fresh bottle of wine chilling in the freezer. I'll be waiting here for you." "Sounds good, babe. See you soon. Love ya," Ray said lovingly. "Love you too. Try not to get into a life or death situation on your way here." "I'll try not to. Bye." With that, Ray tapped his ear, turning his Bluetooth off, and began his quick trip home, soaring through the sky and thinking about his first break in action in the past 2 months. Between his superhero antics and his bustling career as a guitarist for the highly famed Wolfsbane, he had been exhausted and too busy to spend quality time with Eliza. Now he was looking forward to spending a quiet, relaxing night with his girlfriend. Finally, Ray arrived home, and as he wiped the sweat from his forehead and let the cool breeze wash over him, he pulled off his mask and ran his hand through his hair. Feeling the heat of the night's work coursing through his muscles, he stripped off his jacket, laid it over one of the chairs on the terrace, and looked back on the city. He and Eliza had purchased this lot a year previous with the money he had earned from his newfound fame in the music industry. Although they spent a lot of time on the road, this was always their home. Located deep in the heart of LA, the loft was located on the top floor of the 12-story cobblestone building. With one bedroom, a kitchen, and a full bath, it was the perfect place for the young couple, and it made flying off into danger much easier. Walking into the loft through the open door, Ray inspected the lavish home he and Eliza shared. With hardwood oak flooring, eggshell white walls, and granite-top counters, the casual observer would have thought royalty of some sort of Oscar-winning actor lived here. However, with the combined wealth of Ray and the wealth Eliza had accumulated with her computer programming work, they were able to live comfortably. The living room was furnished with plush couch and love seat, an oak coffee table, and a plasma screen TV that covered the entire back wall. With the various video game systems hooked up and DVD players near the TV, they had the latest entertainment system. The kitchen was also modern, with granite counters and a large refrigerator with a metallic sheen. The real piece of art in the room, however, was a large panel Ray had helped Eliza install that held dozens of monitoring systems and computers. With police scanners and access to camera systems that whirled around, Eliza had begun to help Ray with his superhero work by being the tech expert, alerting him to whatever danger the world currently faced. With the push of a button, they were able to move the wall-sized panel to conceal the computer monitors and replace it with a plain wall. Eliza was laying on the love seat, wearing a Wolfsbane t-shirt and small blue shorts. Her tan skin glowed in the soft pale light of the loft, and her emerald eyes regarded him with warmth and love. A large pizza sat on the coffee table as well as a bottle of chilled wine and 2 glasses. He looked at his beautiful girlfriend, who sat smiling at him, and he smiled back. "Hey there, stud," said Eliza. "Hey, honey." "Wow, you look beautiful," Ray replied. "Yeah, right. My hair's a mess and it's so hot I feel like I'm sweating like a pig." "Babe, trust me, you look amazing. Incredibly sexy," Ray replied. "Thanks, handsome. I appreciate it. I got to say, seeing you in your costume always turns me on." "Oh yeah? Well, maybe after we eat, we can spend some time, alone time in the bedroom," Ray began. "Why wait? Grab the food, I'll get the wine, and we can go into the bedroom." Ray, tired and with his mind racing, simply smiled and nodded. And he grabbed both the pizza and Eliza, holding both like they weighed nothing, and carried them into the bedroom. After 20 minutes, the food and wine were gone, and so were their clothes. Ray, who at first worried about his powers hurting the people closest to him, had learned to control how much power he exerted, and so he gave himself completely to Eliza. Feeling her warm breath on the cusp of his ears, they gave themselves over completely to passion. And with that, we leave our hero alone, allowing him the privacy he has so righteously earned. Besides, we'll see him momentarily, for although he is happy now, the horrors he had been told about would make their appearance once again before the night was done. And by noon of the next day, 2 villains would be born. Part 3. It was a quiet night at St. Mary's Hospital in LA. Most of the patients were fast asleep, trying to put the woes of their current condition to rest. The night shift at the hospital was quietly at work, going over paperwork and monitoring patients in their rooms. Doctors pored over their patients' charts late into the night. Surgeons made last-minute preparations for the procedures of the next day. Overall, it was a normal night for the hospital. At least it was until the stranger arrived. Unbeknownst to the staff, a lone figure moved along the shadows, taking great ease to be invisible to the staff. The figure, nothing but a shadow now, made its way past security in the nurses' station on the 4th floor. He slipped through the double doors that led to the coma ward. Slipping past nurses and sleeping patients, the figure finally arrived at its destination, room 13. One patient lay in the room, a patient that was all too familiar. His name was Iago, a former mobster who had kidnapped our esteemed hero the night he had gained his power. After being caught in the explosion that had transformed Ray, the mobster had been knocked deep into a coma, never to regain consciousness. Although he had no family or friends to whom a decision could be made, doctors decided to sustain his life, convinced by miraculous blood work that showcased an unusual DNA abnormality that he may one day regain consciousness, and showcase some extraordinary circumstances. The figure closing the door behind him began to take shape, and from the shadows a mysterious man appeared. Wearing black jeans, black cowboy boots, and a black cowboy shirt, the man wore long black hair and a grin that showcased sharp pointed teeth, much like a canine or even a monstrous vampire. The man, his eyes blazing a dark, deep red, casually approached the comatose mobster, his fingers working sporadically as if trying to produce electricity. Looking at the mobster with his shaved head and pale white skin, the man began to laugh to himself, rocking on his heels and looking like a man with some sinister secret. The white scar on Iago's cheek seemed to be ablaze, and his bodybuilder physique seemed to have deteriorated greatly over the last 2 years. The figure approached the man, moving like a predator, and then in a flash, the figure grabbed Iago by the arm, and a strong, pulsing red light engulfed the room. Iago began to convulse greatly, his body seeming to be filled with electricity. His eyes flew open, and the contrast between his hazel eye and his red glass eye seemed to intensify, with the energy pouring into him. The figure's sun-weathered skin seemed to be ablaze, and his eyes seemed to be half crazed with power. And then, in another flash, the red light faded, and as the figure let go, Iago was back to his normal self, his muscles back in full force, and his eyes dancing wildly in their sockets. He looked up and around him, confused and angry, and then he looked at the man standing beside him. "Who the fuck are you?" Iago asked in a hoarse voice. "I'm Larry, and I'm here to change your life completely." Part 4. It was nearing 6 o'clock in the morning when Shane Greco woke up. The sudden crash of breaking glass woke him from his dreamless sleep. Sitting up in bed, Shane looked around him and saw that his girlfriend, Amber Dalton, was no longer sleeping at his side. Looking around, Shane saw that the bedroom door was open, and the soft light of the living room was pouring in through the open door. Shane Greco was a 28-year-old Italian-American man with olive-toned skin, short, straight black hair that cut off at his earlobes, and glassy hazel eyes. He was the average Italian male. With a slim figure, he was also the perfect example of the starving artist that he was. Standing up out of bed, he pulled his sweatpants off at the nightstand and slipped them over his naked body. Walking out bare-chested and barefooted, he walked into the light of the living room of his LA apartment and saw his girlfriend next to the 2 suitcases and a pile of broken glass. She was a rising supermodel, standing at 6 feet tall, with a slender body and long blonde hair. With pale blue eyes and a winning smile, Shane had won the jackpot with her. Now she knelt on the floor, wearing designer jeans and a white blouse with high heels. "Amber, what the hell is going on?" Shane asked sleepily, rubbing the sleep from his eyes and pulling the hair from his face. "Shit, I was hoping to be done before you woke up," Amber said in an embarrassed tone. Listen, Shane, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm leaving." "Leaving? You mean for a photo shoot or something?" "No, I'm leaving you, Shane. For good." What? What are you talking about? Where is this coming from?" "Don't look at me like that, Shane. You know exactly where this is coming from. This hasn't been working out for a long time now." "What do you mean? I thought things were going great." "Come on, Shane. This isn't working at all. You've been cooped up in this apartment for weeks, leaving only to get supplies and food. The only time we spend together is in the bedroom. When was the last time we sat down and talked, or went out on a date? This is no longer a relationship. It's a hookup. I can't live like this anymore." "Is this because I haven't sold a painting in a year? I'm telling you, babe, I'm so close to finishing my masterpiece." "Oh my god, this masterpiece again? Are you kidding me with this masterpiece shit again? I've been working on that thing for the last 2 years, and you aren't any closer to completing it than you were the day we met. The last time I saw you work on that, you literally only stroked your paintbrush against the canvas 2 times over the course of 8 hours. 7 hours of which you sat on your ass watching stupid take time soaps and eating bags of chips. And yes, it does have to do with the fact that you haven't sold a painting in the past year. At least partly. I'm tired of paying for everything myself, with no help from you at all. You've been using me for a long time now, and I won't let you do it anymore. I have to move on with my life, and so do you. Babe, please, listen to me. I'm sorry, Shane. This is over. I'm leaving, and that's final. I have a cab waiting for me downstairs. I'm going to stay at a hotel, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't call me again. Goodbye, Shane." Shane tried to go to her, but she put a hand on his chest, shook her head, wiped a stray tear from her eyes, and then grabbed her bags and left, slamming the door in his face. Shane stood in the middle of the living room, dumbfounded and feeling his anger rising in his veins. Shane turned on his hardwood floors, walked into the living room, pulled the cloth he had over his canvas back, and looked at his masterpiece. The canvas hosted a portrait of a beautiful woman, with curly blonde hair and golden skin, draped with silk clothes and surrounded by demonic entities. This image had plagued him since he was a child. He had grown up in an orphanage in Sicily, Italy, and had immigrated to America when he was 18. Now, 10 years later, he was still struggling to make his mark on the modern art world. This image had now ruined his love life. "Why don't you get out of my head?" he screamed at the painting. He grabbed his head in frustration and cursed his native tongue. "Figlio de puta," Shane spat at the canvas. Frustrated and upset, Shane went back into the bedroom, stripped off his pants, and went back to bed, trying his best not to think of his loss of Amber. The image of his masterpiece followed him into his dreams, and continued to plague him into the next day, where his life would change forever. And that's the end of it. That's where I'll leave it. The beginning of that novel introduces our hero and the emergence of two new villains, along with a mysterious figure who seems to be a player behind the shadows. The Legend of Electric Fusion Book 2 is on shelves on Amazon Kindle store right now. You can order them through your e-readers, and hope you enjoy them. I'll be releasing another novel soon. I'll be making a video to talk more about that, and look for more podcasts in the future. Uh, Hopefully not too much longer. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening, and once again, check out The Legend of Electric Fusion Book 2 in Amazon Kindle stores now. Goodbye.